think that what has survived about Wonder Woman is what has survived about a lot of the key superheroes that transcend time. They're about a universal truth. Just like the gods or the myths, they're about something very simple and universal that will never end in the spirit of mankind.
She just has this overwhelming confidence, and she stands for something really good for women, and she has a very kind of feminist message that accompanies her.
Love, truth, justice, kindness tempered with strength. That's what she embodies. She herself is the universal character. She is the one negotiating these things. And I think she's only going to get stronger as time goes by.
Look! It's Wonder Woman!
Wonder Woman has had a dozen incarnations, depending on the decade in which her comics are being published, the point of view of the creator, and what makes her an icon in the current day.
The biggest thing that I connect to with Wonder Woman is the fact that she is the embodiment of someone who has never been told that her gender is a detriment, or her gender should be considered less than, or that because she's a woman she's weaker than someone else.
With Wonder Woman, she represents equality, and she has since the beginning. She stands on her own and has her own world and her own story. And to me, that just makes her a really interesting character and a leader, because there's a whole extra layer of intelligence that you put onto that character.
She actually really inspires little girls and women who remember Wonder Woman from their girlhood, and therefore had actually a huge effect on American politics in the 20th century. That, if you think about like in the 1960s and 70s when the women's liberation movement starts, all those women actually grew up with Wonder Woman in the 1940s, and they talk about how much it meant to them that there was a woman doing things that are hard to do in public, that require a great deal of courage, for the sake of women's rights. Whatever they took away, whatever those women as girls took away from Wonder Woman, really meant something to them.
We all were Wonder Woman on the playground. We all wanted to look like Wonder Woman and be Wonder Woman and be as strong as Wonder Woman. I find her to be the better version of myself and every woman. She's who you want to be.
There's something about her that just represents strength. Not just strength, but strength with wisdom. She's a little different than a lot of the other superheroes because she's sort of an ambassador for peace, first and foremost, but she has the power of a warrior.
I do believe that these superheroes, when their stories are told the best, they give us something to reach to. They give us something to aspire to. And one of the things that makes Wonder Woman fantastic to me is she didn't need anything. She needed a bathing suit and a lasso, and she could defeat a Hydra. She could stop the god of war.
Every different version of Wonder Woman just opens a new window for a new person to see something that they admire in her. So if this sword-wielding Amazon warrior isn't quite your thing, well, there's also the peaceful diplomat who, just wants to bring the world together. She's there as well.
This was a woman who wanted human beings to be equal and to be kind to each other. Love was her biggest motivating factor, and love between people was her ultimate goal.
What's wrong, little one?
They won't let me play pirates with them.
And why not?
Because I'm the girl and they need someone to save.
It's only really compelling and they have their own flaws. They're still inspirational and aspirational. They're still superheroes, but they have to be people too.
She can be vulnerable and sensitive and the greatest warrior ever, and strong and confident and confused. Like, she can be all of the above, with the emotional intelligence and with the sophistication and also with the ability of showing emotions and being strong and being badass. She is so many different things, and they live together in a beautiful way.
I actually think she is her most powerful when she is her most human, in a way that we don't see with male superheroes, who have to have a costume that either often covers their face, and that's not true with her. We actually see her, we see all of her. We see her body, we see her face, and there is something really special about that.
In a lot of my work, I try to focus on subtlety where it's how a character stands, little expressions. And with Wonder Woman, it was important for me to show she's very in control of everything, of the situation. She walks in and she owns the room immediately. She's actually very, in a way, almost quiet because she's so powerful that she doesn't need to kind of throw it around on people.
Wonder Woman as a character is really interesting because unlike other superheroes, her weapon is truth. It's not a weapon that causes harm in sort of the construct of how we think of superheroes having some sort of weapon or something that they can do. She doesn't inflict harm on other people.
She always looks to avoid the fight first. And then if there isn't that sort of solution, then that's when sort of the badass warrior comes out and then she's able to solve some problems that way.
The wallet.
No, but there is something I want from you. An apology.
Huh?
Well?
I'm sorry.
The fact of the matter was, her comic series was just as interesting as Batman, Superman, or anything else. So that we weren't focusing on women, we were focusing on a comic book.
The interesting thing with Wonder Woman is she comes from a world that says the outside world's bad. It's misogynistic, it's violent, it's not a place for you. And she wants to go explore it anyway and thinks, well, I can conquer it. I can find it. I think there's more good in it, and ultimately does learn there's more good in it. You know, it's not perfect, and she can't change it herself, but if she can inspire people to look at equality and value equality, that's what Wonder Woman embodies.
But there's also a need to sort of pause and say, it means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And means something quite powerful and cherished and precious to a lot of girls.
Wonder Woman focused on the fact that women weren't just housekeepers, that they were contributing to the welfare of the company and the country and the world in general by various physical actions and group actions and business and various things.
I do believe Wonder Woman, in her initial inception, in her original creation, was a far more progressive character than she has evolved, than she's become. Part of that's just the world that she was created in. 1941, the United States, that was a very different place than the world we live in now. Marston's take, I think, that if human beings could just give over to a way of living, to a way of seeing the world, I think, and by creating a comic about that, is still in many ways far more progressive than saying, this is the world we live in, and rather than try to change it, we're just gonna fight it. What I grew up with in Wonder Woman changed my life because she had a worldview that said, if you just rethink the way you navigate the world, if you just behave a little bit differently, if you just love a little bit more, the world can be a better place. Yeah.
The great thing about superheroes should be inspiring you, should be teaching you. And 70 years later, the character is still sort of inspiring people to uphold a sort of sense of equality between men and women.
I think superheroes played the same role in my life that they did in so many people's. The dream fulfillment of what would that be like if I was that powerful and I was that great, and what could I do if I was? Wonder Woman played that role for me personally in the way that I think Superman, Batman, Spider-Man did for so many boys.
I definitely think that Wonder Woman has an appeal to women and men. She's a fascinating character. She's one of the first female action heroes to get her own movie.
I think that people were always wanting to prove that women were as strong as a man. And I think that now is the first time we are really in a place where women are as strong. They're just not men. So I think seeing her be an incredible badass, but completely in herself as a woman and still attractive and still cool and still loving and still kind and losing none of that, now is the moment for that more than ever, where audiences can really handle that. We don't have to apologize or overthink about the fact that, is she like a man? Just forget it. It's not the point.
I don't think there's a better superhero than Wonder Woman that sort of fits all these things. She's always evolving, and it's sort of fun to track her history.
When their stories are well told, they ask us to see the world in a whole new way. That's what excites me about my business. That's what excites me about Wonder Woman, the possibility of transformation.